Good afternoon. My name is Terrell Henry. This is oral template number 10, chapter 10, indirect from the sun, water, wind, and biomass. And to start off with the chapter, I'm going to start off with the section hydropower. And for the section hydropower, I have that hydropower has been a very positive source of energy for many decades. One of the positive uses of hydropower that the chapter talked about was water wheels. And water wheels, mechanical energy, was the first use, and it was first used to its first use was to grind grain. And grain was something that was very important back in the, I don't really remember the time periods. I don't remember it saying the time period, but it was one of their main sources for money, for making things, just different things like that. So it was able to, grain was something that they needed, and it was something that they were able to survive off of. So the use of grain and the way water wheels were able to make getting the grain possible was a positive. And then for my next section, I'm going to go to wind resource, harnessing wind energy, environmental impacts. And for this section, I have the main point was wind was one of the first reliable natural resources. So the way that we knew that wind was a reliable resource was actually about 5,000 years ago, I believe it said, was with the wind-powered boats, as we seen boats being powered by the wind. So this was obviously, before they knew it at the time, was one of the first natural resources, as the boats were being able to be powered by wind. And that only sparked the industries, as just a little bit after this time, there were over I believe it was by 1750, there were over 10,000 windmills in England. And the reason why windmills and natural resources are so important is because that they are something that we will always be able to have, as it's different from fossil fuels, where there's a certain limit on the amount that we can overall that we can use. And for my next section, I'm going to go to can't find the section. Here it is. Biomass, advanced biofuels, environmental impacts, and prospects for biomass. And for that, I have biofuels. For the main point, biofuels can directly replace fossil fuels for transportation. And the reason I put that as the main source is we have biodiesel. And biodiesel is exactly what it sounds like in its name, as biodiesel is used in diesel energy motors. And the reason why this is so important is because we have the ability to get different energies for electricity and different things like that, but we were lacking the use of natural resources being able to use for transportation. And in this process, natural resources can almost fully replace the use of fossil fuels when talking about the use of transportation. And one of those ways is through biodiesel. And for my next section, I'm going to go to biomass. I'm going to go to biomass again, but this time I'm going to go to the biomass resource, harnessing biomass through burning, energy from waste, and biofuels. And for that section, I have biomass is humankind's first energy source. And for that, the very first energy source that us humans used was wood. We used wood to get energy for pretty much everything by creating fires and just different things by that. And not only did we have wood, we had animal oils, we had dried grass, we had waste, and all of those were big things until the most known, I would say the most known source of energy came along, which was fossil fuels, which being coal. It just kind of came in, just took over the industry where wood and all the animal parts were the main use of were the main uses. Now we've seen fossil fuels come in and kind of just take over in a big way. And one of my pictures disappeared on me. I'm gonna go into my pictures here. One of my pictures actually disappeared. So I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about it instead. By the time you watch the video, I'll probably have the picture on here though. So for my first picture I had a picture of a power plant. I believe it was in Vermont. And this power plant in general, it had, I think it was responsible for 55% of all of Vermont's electrical consumption. And I just thought that was very interesting that just single power plant was responsible for over 55% of a state's electrical use. And then for my second picture here, this one right here with the bar graph, we have a bar graph showing the use of ethanol from the year of 2010 to around 2020. And if you look at the bar graph, you can see the use of ethanol in 2010 is lower than in the year of 2019. In the year of 2019, from the year 2010 to the year of 2019, ethanol increased by 26%, I want to say. And then if you look, that is the year right there, and then you see a complete drop off in the use, and that is because of the pandemic COVID-19, and there was a huge drop off. And then for this last picture here, there's a picture of the ocean thermal condensation of a big plant, a big tool. I don't know how you would describe it. It's not a power plant, it's not a tool. I don't know how you want to describe that, but a big pipe going to the bottom of the ocean ground, able to suck up, different energy sources and just different things like that. And then we have, for the whole chapter 10, what I have as the main point are there are many type of different natural resources to use. And what I mean by that is, there's wind powers, there's solar energy powers, there's just a different variety of sources, and that I feel like we're not in a state where we just have to use fossil fuels. And not only are we saving our fossil fuels a little bit, but we are also helping out the environment.